So, quick Friday meal. I'm going to make some dal. This is dead quick. I'm sorry if it offends anybody how quick it is and easy. I am going to make this out of the ingredients that I have. I am no expert on how to make dal. So, olive oil. And oh, that is not olive oil. We will try again. Will we try again? I just put regular vegetable oil in there. That was a total blunder, but let's just go with it. So into that oil, I'll put that on my small ring. This is quite a large onion, so we will put a large onion into that pot. Turn that on. We'll just leave that. That's the smallest ring, so we'll just leave that on at a low heat. We'll let that saute down. Here I have pre-made garlic and ginger ice cube in an ice cube tray. So that is probably about an inch of ginger and maybe about 5 cloves of garlic. So that's frozen. I'm just going to pop that in. By the time the onions have sauteed down, that will be completely defrosted and aromatic in the pot. So whilst that is doing what it's doing, it does not matter which tomatoes you use. I just have wee cherry tomatoes, that's what I have. So I'm just going to cut these in half so that they are open. If you put whole tomatoes in your cooking, this is totally up to you if you do or not, but if they don't burst, they will be scalding hot when you go to eat them. So if they're open, they then just cook down and they just look pretty in your pot. I've got some coriander here. Don't waste the stalks. So whilst that is cooking like that, really finely chop the stalks of your coriander and pop them in alongside that. When you cook this style of cooking, when you use fresh ingredients like ginger, like garlic, like coriander, fresh coriander that you have not bought in the shop, that you've grown by yourself, smells and tastes 100-fold what you would ever buy in the shop. So I can't encourage you enough to grow your own. It is a very easy herb to grow. It grows in abundance. If you cut it, it will grow again. It will also give you seeds, which look like this, which if you leave the plant will drop itself and grow again the next year. So it is a very easy plant to grow. Normally in my dal I use these kind of chilies, which come in a pack of 3 or 4 usually in my local shop, but I have loads of these wee chilies and they are looking a wee bit sorry for themselves, so I will put this in instead of the fresh chilies that I've got there. So that will go into the pot just whilst these are sauteing. Chop it nice and small. Now be careful when you are dealing with chilies and don't rub your eyes, which I have done many times, because that will sting. Always use a scrubbing brush, well if you're using your bare hands, use a nail brush and really scrub at your nails, because it gets under your nails and stings your eyes. Next into the pot will go the equivalent of 2 medium potatoes. So that is probably, we'll say, for saying sake, because pretty much in all of my meals, it's a cup of tomatoes. So we'll pop them in, let them get warm. I have got 2 stock cubes here because I am going to use a full 500 grams of lentils. If you are making this for an individual person, maybe 100 grams. I've never made it for a single person. I think that in that case you could maybe just make the full portion, or even 250 grams of lentils. I would still, if I was halving the lentils, I would still probably put all the same ingredients into the, do you know, like a cup of onion, because fresh ingredients, you can't get enough of fresh ingredients, so it is only the dry ingredients that I would ever reduce. I would always just keep. And equally, if you were making the full size, you could add as much more of the fresh ingredients to your own preference. So that is in. At this point, just as that is simmering, whilst there is quite a lot of oil in the bottom, this is when I'm going to put my lentils in. So my whole jar of lentils, I am going to put in roughly a teaspoon of turmeric and a good tablespoon. Oh, that was maybe a wee bit more of a tablespoon, but I'm not going to adjust it. Curry powder. So on purpose, a good tablespoon of curry powder. But if you accidentally put more in your hand, it's not a bad thing. So we'll just give that a good mix through so that all the oil coats your lentils. And then we're pretty much at the end. All we have to do is add our water. And I will add a full kettle. My kettle is 1.7 litres. So pretty quickly the lentils absorb any moisture that is in your pot, so you don't want to leave it without liquid for too long. My kettle has boiled. So whole kettle. Now it might look a lot of liquid for a dal, and I know that I am doing a soup week, but I'm classing this as a soup because you can make a dal quite watery, or you can make it quite thick, however you want to make it. This is in my household. I genuinely just go with the flow. However it turns out is how it turns out, and we eat it. We are not a hugely fussy family, but that might look a lot of liquid, but the lentils will absorb the majority of that liquid. So as you can see, the liquid in the pot, I've just put that liquid in, my whole 1.7 litres against 500 grams of lentils, and we will see just how much that water absorbs. So the dal has only been in for 10 minutes, and this is how thick it is. That's how much the lentils have absorbed the water. So I will probably only give this 15 minutes and then turn it off. And the heat in the pot will steam it until we are ready for it. So dishing the dal, you can see how thick that is. Hence me putting it in with the soup week. So that is 2, well, not full ladlefulls, but 3 ladlefulls. Here we go. So I'm here with my dal and my fantastic piece of naan. So delicious. The naan is the best. It's the absolute best. So good.